am I starting?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. What's up, guys? It's Brian Kalina, captain of Midwest Gaming, here with another Sky Striker deck profile, of course, because Reyes Bay. We went to Denver this weekend, and I made top 16 of the Saturday individual tournament. And then team Midwest Gaming C team, me, Caleb.
Let's go, baby.
Joe. What's up? Well, we made it to the finals of the 3v3 and we lost because I gave my teammate bad advice and he listened to me. Turns out if I'm not playing Sky Striker, I shouldn't be trusted. So, but yeah, overall, like other than that, successful weekend. This deck's insane. If you're not playing the bird deck, you're not losing. So let's get into it. We got the standard 3-rate, 2 rows, Kyle Satter, Ryan, Michael Hansen. Get out of here. 2 rows, not 3. We're blind in second, so 1 isn't enough to see a starter. And actually, this ratio might be okay now that we're playing DP, because if you get to the Fusion Destiny and you Celestial draw 2, you're just like surviving longer to get to your starters. So 1 rows might actually be okay, but the 2 really worked all weekend. 3's too many. You're gonna just break on too many starters sometimes, and you're gonna lose when you can't do anything else. So there you go. And this is the Saturday list. I should clarify. I did change a little bit of things from Saturday to the 3v3, but on Saturday we played Nibiru and Ash, and then Celestial and Dasher. Nibiru was okay on Saturday. Every time I like resolved it, it was amazing, of course, but it got stuck in my hand a lot with these 2. So like there were times, and I don't know that any of them really cost me the match, or it might have cost me a game, but they just, if this gets stuck in your hand, any of these 2, you can't like dig. And if you're in a simplified game site, that kind of like hurts you depending on what you're playing against. So this is one of the changes I made going into Sunday, but like, for the most part, Nibiru is just really good. So I liked it.
What'd you change Nibiru for?
I changed Nibiru's for Effect Veilers, because Effect Veilers are much less dead in the hand mid and late game, because usually when the Nibirus are dead, it's because they're not summoning 5 times, not because they're not summoning at all. And Veilers are normal summonable. So if I have to like make a link to Phoenix or Zeke, whatever, sometimes summoning this, making a Zeke, drawing 2 is just better than having a dead Nibiru when they're never going to summon 5 times again for the rest of the game. I actually had to Unicorn, discard a Nibiru, just to get these 2 to draw 2 to like further myself in the game to have a shot at winning once on Saturday. So on Sunday we swapped it for these and it was good. Veiler's good. Sword Soul is a deck that Veiler and Imperm really perform against, so I liked this change a lot. Well, yeah, that was the monster lineup. For the trap lineup, only 3 Imperm hand traps. This card's insane. I'm a big fan. I beat a PK player because he went to battle phase because his out to mine was his second to last card, his Imperial Order. So he went to battle phase to try and kill me. I impermed his access code, so it lost attacks, and then he just couldn't draw for turn next turn. And it just like outs floodgates if you like set it and hit their monsters. It hurts Sword Soul a lot. There's so much utility for Sky, and because of anti-spell Imperial Order, like even if it's not necessarily good against the engine, I almost never take this card out. Because it just lets you play the game when you can turn off floodgates for a turn. But now we're on the spells. For Saturday, we played best card in the game. Engage, multi-roll, Hornet Drones, the big 3 that I can only play 1 of, and I wish I could play more of each of these, but I can't. The other 1-ofs I played are Burners and Ego Booster. So if you've seen any of my prior deck profiles, I've been on 2 of these. And I was almost still on 2 of this, but I'm not playing Desires anymore. So 1 and 1 worked for me all weekend, and it was great. Still 2 Shark Cannon. 3's not great right now, but 1 isn't either, just because it outs DPE. So like Phoenix Enforcer is such a popular card right now, and it absolutely sucks against Sky because Sky outs it so easily. it's pretty wild. So that's actually one of the other reasons I decided to go with Sky for the events, just because every time I played Sword Soul, if I got impermed or Veilered and couldn't get to a token or something, I just lost. And it was so fragile for me, the Sword Soul deck. I don't know how Caleb swept the way he did in the 3v3. This man won every single match until the finals.
Love to see it.
With his Sword Soul deck, and he's insane. But 3 Widow Anchor, and then 1 Airspace, and 1 Terraforming. We played the Terraforming because we also played 2 Sky Striker Mecha Mystic Mines. So I actually hated this card on Saturday. Everybody had a main deck out to it, except for my final round opponent that I beat to get into top 16. So I guess that was okay, but it's just, I don't know, it's really hard to play well with this card because it's so easy for your opponent to bluff that they have an out, and then you just feel like you're forced to play, and it just feels so bad putting them on, oh, better have the out, and then they do, and then they OTK you and you lose. It's just oh shit. Where if you had played sooner, you might have been able to win anyway. So finding the balance between stalling them to deck out and then actually playing is so difficult, I think, that also this card's just toxic. But Sunday for the 3v3 it worked a lot better. It was pretty insane. I feel like I was either able to, my opponents either scooped right away, or I was able to balance using this and playing and just still winning anyway. So that was okay. And then for the rest of the non-striker spells, on Saturday we used 3 Droplets, 3 Prosperity. Card's good. Unless you banish Verte Anaconda off of it.
Let's go.
We won our top 8 match for the 3v3 because when
that was Swiss.
Was that Swiss?
That was 100% Swiss.
Oh, it was Swiss. Yeah, sorry. We won. The team we beat in top 8, we beat in Swiss because in game 3, when Caleb had won and Joe had lost, my opponent banished Verte off of this, and then in a game state where he had anti-spell, he couldn't make DPE to clear my 4 back row, and I had roll engage. So the next turn I just popped off, and I made my own DPE, because I engaged for a monster, roll, I had searched the field spell because I had the roll, so I set the field spell, rolled it away, DPE, popped the anti-spell. I just went crazy. All because he banished his Verte off of Prosperity. I was like, I'm sick. Thank you for the win. But they still made top 8, so that's cool, but then we beat them in top 8 too. So 3 Fusion Destiny and 1 Upstart. On Saturday, this combo never gave me any trouble. It literally, it was never a problem. But then afterward, I was like, why am I playing Upstart when I have Prosperities? Because I just hate cards that, you can't use all in the turn. In Sky, especially when you're blinding second, you need everything. You need every resource possible to play the game. So, things like drawing Prosperity off the engage hurts, but if you're resolving engage with 3 spells, you're just in a good spot where that doesn't matter. But drawing these 2 cards together, I don't know. I just would rather not. So it didn't cause me any issues Saturday, but I did take out Upstart for Raigeki because the bird deck is scary as hell. I didn't play any birds on Sunday, which was cool, but this was in my main deck for Sunday. So the differences were these 4 cards came in for these 4 cards. So Saturday, Sunday. Saturday I went 7-2 in Swiss, got top 16, lost to Birds in top 16. Sunday we went 6-0 in Swiss and then lost in the finals because we won top 8, won top 4. I went 4-2 in Swiss and then I won top 8, top 4 in finals. And so I went 6, 7, 8, 9. So I went 7-2 again on Sunday. Insane. Sky's insane. I love it. Let's go to Extra Deck didn't change. And Extra Deck might be flexible. I'm not really sure. So we played 3 Kagari, 2 Shizuku, call me crazy, 3 Hayate, 1 Kaina, 1 Zeke. So my argument was that if I don't see prosperity, I want to be able to summon 3 Hayates in a game. Because it just like nets you same turn advantage. And I think especially if you're going like mid and late game, well, I guess like early game, Early game, it's just sometimes so important to be able to dump a Ray right away. And then still have Hayates to poke later. So like having 3 of these versus having 3 of these when sometimes the 3rd Shizuku can't search anything because you're in a game state where all your striker spells are used or in the graveyard. I just decided to do 2 Shiz, 3 Hayate, and if I needed to banish one off Prosperity, it'd be this, because 2 Hayates is not the worst thing in the world. But and it worked. It worked all weekend. I did not miss the 3rd Shizuku at all. I'm really happy that I decided on this ratio because it was insane. I just didn't need the 3rd Shiz, and I think it was absolutely correct if I was going to cut one to cut the Shiz. So 10 Striker Links, Verte, DPE, of course, and then for the 3 flex spots, instead of doing Hulk Celine access code, I did Phoenix Unicorn access code. Just because like Hulk and Celine don't actually do anything, and for a while I wasn't playing Veiler, so they just were out. But access code is still important to have because Shark Cannon is insane. You can just summon their Link 2s, Link 3s, and it's still easily makeable without Hulk Celine. And then I wanted board breakers to be able to try and like out floodgates. So I just like the 2 Nightmares. Every time I resolved pot, I almost always banished both of these, usually at least one. So I guess I'm not really sure if there are better spots. Some people think the Link 5 is good. I'm not sold on it yet, but that may change. But this is the extra deck I played for both days, and it was just good. I wouldn't change it. I don't think in the near future at the very least. Side deck for Saturday was 2 Dark Ruler, 3 Cosmic, Sanctum package with Scythe, Evenlies, and there can be only one. All these cards are really good. The problem I found with Dark Ruler is that I would Dark Ruler their board, and then their board would still exist after my turn was over because I'm playing Sky Striker. So like if I don't have a way to get to DPE, then like it's hard to pick apart boards. So I didn't love this card. This card, I don't know. I just wanted chainables. So for Evenly, I just decided that even though this was such a good card, chainables to the Floodgates and I Spell in Order, because my only loss on Saturday to something that wasn't Bird was to Sword Soul that opened IO game 1 and I Spell game 3. So like if I don't see the chainables, yeah, it's really hard to play around. So for Sunday, we took out these 5 cards. And if you recall, I took out the Nibirus from the main deck for Veilers. So the Nibirus moved to the side deck. And then the last 2 spots were twins. So I just added the 2 twins for chainables to the Floods, and then sided the Nibirus because I still think they're really good. Especially since so many people think PK is a good deck. I don't know, man. So they're all looking at me because until like 3 days ago, I was going to play PK for this event. And then I decided that PK wasn't the wave. So yeah, that's the deck with the changes from Saturday to Sunday. Sky's insane. I think people are sleeping on it. It's really good. Shout outs to, and I have to shout him out even though he never gives me, that's not true. He's been giving me some deals on Pokemon lately. So we'll shout out to TGG Gaming, Terrence. They gave me some sleeves that I didn't use except for playtesting because they were ugly brown, but that's okay. Shout out to Rising Star, shout out to Metamats, shout out to Deadly, shout out to DB Grinder, YGO Daily. Shout out to my wife, Montana. Shout out to Izzy, because Izzy's the best cat in the world. I need an Izzy Field Center, guys. Shout out to my teammates. Caleb, who
Let's
carried.
go, baby.
Caleb in 9 rounds went 8-1.
8-1.
He 2-0'd everybody except for one person in Swiss. It was insane. Shout out to Joe for scraping people with Linda. Sometimes.
2 days.
Alistair.deck, baby. Shout out to Walter for giving me cards. Shout out to Jose for buying me trash cans. And, shout out to the entire team for swearing that they're going to impeach me as captain and all do better than me on Saturday, and I was the only one who topped. So I keep the band. The band stays home. Let's go. That's all. Thanks, guys.
All right.